7.0 turned my most hated class into one of my favorites. Assault was a class I really struggled to enjoy before patch 7.0. I think this was for a whole bunch of reasons. All of the available melee weapons felt either too clunky, hammer, fist, block, balance, chainsword, or too weak, fencing chainsword. Heavy bolt pistol rocked, but was too low ammo to compensate for the low damage of the fencing chainsword. Interesting. I understand why this person didn't really enjoy this class, but let's continue. Survivability was a real struggle until armor on gun strikes. Yeah, honestly, yeah, armor on gun strikes for assault is very powerful. But if you're okay, so let's just point on this real quick, because this is kind of interesting. They didn't like assault before 7.0. However, their build seems to be, yes, a fencing chainsword gun strike build. So obviously they need that extra armor for non-lethal gun strikes, a very, very good perk. However, they weren't enjoying any of the other melee weapons. And this was before 7.0. And I have to say, the Thunderhammer can definitely feel clunky. I agree with what they're getting at with the assault weapons ultimately, but I still think, as far as a fully leveled assault class, I think the Thunderhammer can definitely provide some survivability because you just slam and execute. You just continuously slam and execute. And I think this is good post, 100%. This is going to be interesting to kind of see the perspective of somebody who doesn't enjoy assault, who was playing it more like a tactical, essentially, and then now we are seeing, you know, somebody who enjoys it post patch 7.0. But okay, let's continue. Yet now I find the class downright rocks. The power sword hits the right balance of speed and damage for me. With the prestige perk expanding parry windows, I can take the balance sword without hindering survival. Yes, the prestige perk is duelist. Duelist on the assault is very, very good, and I agree. I honestly really like duelist for blocking. Dude, if you don't like blocking, get to prestige 1 assault and just put on duelist and then go out for blocking. I mean, I guess you could use blocking with Vanguard. You can use duelist on Vanguard pretty early, and it can feel pretty effortless. But for whatever reason, blocking with the Thunderhammer is just, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I really enjoy the Thunderhammer, and yes, I honestly really enjoy playing the assault class as well. I should play more of it, but yeah, I just got the Prestige 4 heavy, so I'm very excited about that, to be completely honest. The plasma pistol pairs really, really well with the assault range buffs. Yes, the plasma pistol is insane, and prestige perks. Heavy bolt pistol rocks still too. Yeah, the heavy bolt pistol is also insane. Like, honestly, the assault class does have a really good, a really good weapon build. Like, they have a lot of good weapon build options. Sorry. They have a lot of different options for melee weapons and range now, which is really nice. I definitely like to see the plasma pistol on the assault. I will say, giving the plasma pistol to the assault is one of the changes from patch 7 that does feel really, really good. Now, in the PTS, I'm not too sure if we had a nerfed contested health plasma pistol or not, but ultimately still the plasma pistol is just going to be a net positive for the assault class, especially if you have, any sort of contested health support on your team, like a bulwark or something. You can definitely still use plasma pistol in the way to just regenerate health, and that would be nice for the survivability for the class, obviously. The plasma pistol is still a great weapon even after the contested health nerf. I just get annoyed about the contested health nerf because it's at a time where I feel like people really needed it. they definitely needed to, regenerate some more contested health from the meltas and the plasmas, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of like a defining factor of the meltas too. I see meltas here and there for sure still, so maybe the nerf wasn't that big of a deal. And ammo is less of a problem when everything is dead quicker. Very true. Very, very true. And not to mention, we also see a fair amount of, new ammo regeneration prestige perks as far as sniper and the heavy. So those are two very ammo-dependent classes getting ammo regeneration. You might see a couple ammo boxes here and there nowadays. So honestly, the assault classes might be the ones picking up the ammo boxes. Who knew? Survivability really seems to have gone up a notch, either as a result of the parry perk or everything just dying faster. Well, not only that, I'm pretty sure the assault class has more contested health regeneration for slams now. I'm not that that felt like it was pretty recent. I'm pretty sure that was a patch 7 thing, but still, regardless, that was something that was nice. Even if, honestly, I don't play that much Assault. I really don't. I can't really pinpoint how much health we are regenerating from slams right now. Because also, not to mention, sometimes for Assault I am playing fencing or balanced weapons with the duelist prestige perk. Sometimes I am doing that, so my range for slams does kind of vary. But ultimately, still with the Thunderhammer, even before the fix to the slam contested health regeneration, I was able to just survive strictly from just block, slam, and then execute, boom, armor, and your contested health back from getting sniped in midair. that all comes back in the execution, you know what I mean? I find myself between building for jump pack dodges or ground pound, and I find both approaches viable in a way I didn't before. It's really, really fun class now. Felt like I had to share. Oh, that's actually a very good point. Also, he did kind of start with this class as like a gunstrike build, so now that we also have buffs to the jump pack and the jump pack dodges, I can definitely see enjoying the gun build of the Assault more since, the recent patches that we had for it, 100%. Now, I know people have an issue with this class, but I do think this is a pretty good post, pretty much detailing how Assault was, really, really in a bad shape a couple patches ago. And now it is getting to a good spot. I do think this is a pretty good perspective to have. When I first played Assault, I went straight to the Thunderhammer, but I was very, I understood the power of Assault was something you had to build up, so I definitely just took my time learning the class. I know I have some I have some old gaming footage from when I started operations and stuff. I always get comments of people, poking fun at the gameplay there. But yeah, you can definitely see how much I improved from some of the old clips of this class to some of the newer clips of I still like playing this class with a paddle because I do play blocking, but I can still just parry. Honestly, it really doesn't matter if you play parry or block with Assault. I do think that the class is in a really good spot right now. But yeah, let's go into some comments. Let's discuss a bit to see how good this class is in patch 7 and if it's in a better spot. And does it really need health regeneration anymore? Or does it still need a little bit of sustainability? What's crazy is even with the buffs of 7.0 Assault, still got the short end of the stick and is still very mid for a team in Lethal Absolute. Very mid. Okay, well, you know what? That's still better than bad. We were at bad, okay? So honestly, now we're in a pretty good spot. No, to be completely honest, I still think this class is good. I can understand where it's mid, and yeah, for the most part, when you see Assault players in high difficulties, they're probably still working out some kinks. But still, the class definitely needs a build up to get strong. I get that. You definitely need certain perks to get those one-shot slams and everything. But once you get those one-shot slams, then it's just honestly threat assessment. And when it comes down to threat assessment, there's nothing that makes me feel better than jumping on an extremist than seeing an Assault class slam on it just a little bit after I hit it. You know what I mean? But still, I understand where we see most players who play this class, they are slamming down on, gaunts and still dying. So I don't know. Sometimes it's just trial and error. Don't worry. Bad Assault players, they'll get through it. They'll figure it out. It's all going to go down to muscle memory because they are going to immediately get rewarded for good gameplay, and then they will stay alive just by repeating, those turn of events, hopefully. Assault was always my favorite class. Perfect dodging with the jump pack and getting it back was so satisfying. And with the addition of the perk making all dodges perfect, it's awesome. I just wish you could keep your perks when prestiging. Yeah. Now, honestly, this is probably the class that gets hindered the most when it comes to, leveling. It is nice that you can still obviously use relic weapons for Assault, but a lot of Assault's damage does come from their main perks and definitely down the line. So yeah, I can understand this class definitely having an issue with prestige leveling, but ultimately I just have fun playing the class, so I don't really mind a couple more operations to get a prestige point or whatever. But for the most part, yeah, I understand the sentiment here, and yes, don't worry, I am currently within the grind of the getting to prestige 4 Assault. I think I'm getting close to prestige 2, something like that. But honestly, I will say blocking is pretty good for leveling. Blocking does feel very, very strong for leveling, but yeah, for the most part, I definitely understand where you would want some of those slam perks for sure. Brother, Assault is my favorite class, has been from the start. As others have said, nothing has really changed, but maybe it was those massive buffs to Power Sword and Plasma Pistol and giving it to Assault that made it so good for you. Ultimately, yeah, honestly, I understand what they're saying here, but still, I think, you know, that this class specifically, the Assault class, I think the blocking buffs really did a number to help this class feel like it can punch up, I guess, in difficulties. Definitely in Lethal and Absolute, running blocking can feel very impactful, but you definitely need Duelist if you feel like you're a little uncomfortable with it, or, yeah, just some practice, honestly. But yeah, I understand what they mean. Like, yeah, it can still be kind of tough to survive with this class, but still, it's still within, it's within reach to get a little bit more sustainability from blocking. You just need to, you know, practice it. And yeah, definitely threat assess a little bit. Don't jump into any big mobs that you're not comfortable blocking or even parrying for that matter. But yeah, not really that much has changed, but still, I think the prestige perks are going to help get this class into a better spot regardless. I like using the fencing power sword, but I also use the hammer a lot as it is better versus Tyranids. Terrible versus Chaos. I don't know about that. Terrible versus Chaos? I mean, yeah, you would kind of rather just... The reason being is because Chaos doesn't have as many combos as Tyranids have. But still, blocking can definitely be very impactful against Chaos because of just one-shot slams. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could use blocking against the Gaunts to get your stacks. But still, I understand. Yeah, Chaos definitely has less combos than Tyranids. Power Fist is good versus both. But you know, both of these weapons could use a bit of a buff, not a huge one, but kind of nudge up in damage in the weaker versions at least, because they are so cumbersome to use. I think, honestly, it's about weapon speed. I feel like the fact that we see so much of a discrepancy between some of the weapon speeds, like if the Artificer, the Artificer blocking Chainsword, if for whatever reason they felt like it just needed that much speed to feel a little bit more powerful or a little bit more worth it to use, I feel like the same goes for like melee weapons that could still use a buff now. But mainly, I think the Power Fist is definitely in a good spot, but like some of the basic attacks can definitely feel a little bit weak. So yeah, I can see where if you could just speed up some of the basic attacks for some of these weapons, that would feel really, really good. But both of these weapons, Fencing Power Sword and the Power Fist. Yeah, maybe the Fencing Power Sword could be used, could use a little bit of a buff, maybe, as far as like a melee attack, but it's the Fencing Power Sword. I mean, you should just use it for gun strikes anyway. But, okay. Anyway, this class is amazing. When used right, it can have survivability and damage. Okay, yeah, there we go. A little bit of pushback, but I think this was a healthy comment to read for sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the Assault class in patch 7. Well, mainly patch 7.2, I guess, but still, this is, I still think this class is very fun to play. Blocking Thunderhammer, one of my favorite weapons in the game. The gun build for this class with the perfect dodges with the jetpack definitely feels very fun. And it's honestly pretty easy to get a hold of, but yeah, again, some of these things definitely could use a little bit of practice, and ultimately, you got to trial and error some things. So sometimes, yeah, you're going to get shot in the air, and, you know, that's going to be bad. But don't worry, everyone learns. It's, you know, just a part of getting used to higher difficulties and everything. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this subject. Thanks for watching.